If you are here with me right now, perhaps lying in bed with the light turned low or sitting alone in a quiet room after a long day, I want you to hear this very clearly, my dear. It is not a coincidence. You did not randomly tap on this video. You were guided here because a wiser part of you is ready for a softer way to live. Maybe you have been trying so hard for so long, trying to fix everything, trying to hold everyone together, trying to make your dreams happen by sheer force, that your heart feels tired from wanting. You want love that feels safe, work that feels meaningful, a future that doesn't feel like an endless struggle. And yet, the more you push, the further it all seems to drift. Isn't that interesting? You keep saying, if I can just hold on a little tighter, if I can just do a little more, if I can just be a little better, then it will finally come. And still your body feels tense, your mind feels noisy, your spirit feels worn out. Tonight, I am not here to judge you for that. I am here to hold your hand and say, of course you're tired, sweetheart. You've been living as if you are the only one holding the universe together. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you finally have space to receive anything. So let's slow down together. Take a gentle breath in through your nose, and as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop just a little. If it feels okay, place your hand on your heart and feel that steady rhythm under your palm, that beautiful, faithful heartbeat that has never once given up on you. You don't have to impress me. You don't have to impress life. You don't have to have everything figured out. Right now, your only job is to be here. You see, you cannot learn to let go if you still feel like you're in danger, so we begin by reminding your whole being, you are safe in this moment. Softly, with your hand still on your heart, say with me, I am safe to let go. Let the words sink in for a breath. Once more, a little slower, as if you are speaking kindly to the most tender part of you. I am safe to let go. And one more time with just a little more trust than before, even if it is only one small drop more. I am safe to let go. You don't have to feel it perfectly yet. We are planting a seed. The day you learn to feel safe inside yourself is the day you stop begging the outside world to rescue you. Now, let's talk about the strange paradox you've probably felt your whole life. The more desperately you cling to something, the more it seems to slip away. Attachment, in the way we're speaking of it tonight, is not simply wanting something. It is wanting it with fear in your belly, tightness in your chest, and a story in your mind that says, if I don't get this, I am not enough. I am not safe. I am not okay. Attachment is an energy of panic, of pressure, of I need you, instead of I choose this. It puts an invisible weight on people, on opportunities, and on your own nervous system. You might notice it when you keep checking your phone to see if they texted back, when you can't sleep because you're replaying that job interview, when you twist yourself into knots trying to be good enough so life doesn't take things away. You see, that kind of attachment doesn't just hold on, it strangles. Detachment, on the other hand, is not coldness, and it is not pretending you don't care. Detachment is simply the decision to stop grabbing the future by the throat. It sounds like, I deeply desire this, I am willing to show up for it, but I will not abandon myself if it takes time, changes form, or does not look exactly the way I imagined. What you chase runs away, what you allow flows in. Think of a butterfly for a moment. If you run after it frantic and reaching, it flutters just out of reach, always a little further, always a little higher. But if you sit still in the garden, if you soften your shoulders and relax your hands, if you simply become a peaceful part of the space, that tiny, delicate creature may choose to land on your shoulder all on its own. That is how energy works. Life does not respond well to panic and gripping. Life responds to alignment, to calm confidence, to a heart that says, I know I am worthy, whether this specific thing comes or not. Detachment is not losing your desire. It is losing the desperation around your desire. Right now, I gently want to ask you, my dear, what are you trying so hard to force? Is it a person you're afraid of losing? A dream you've decided is your only doorway to happiness? A timeline that you think must happen now or never? You don't have to tell anyone. Just notice with honesty and kindness where you are still holding your breath. Because when you see it clearly, you can begin to soften it. And when you soften it, you stop sending out the energy of save me and begin sending out the energy of I am already held. The day you stop gripping life with fear is the day life can finally hold you with love. Now we come to something very important, the difference between manifestation and emotional dependency. On the surface, they can look very similar. You have a desire, you visualize it, you think about it often, but the energy underneath is completely different. Manifestation, in its healthiest form, is clear intention plus aligned action plus deep trust. It sounds like, I know what I would love to experience, I am willing to take steps toward it, and I trust that life is working with me, not against me. Emotional dependency sounds very different inside. It says, if I don't get this, I am nothing. If this person leaves, I am unlovable. If this job doesn't happen, I am a failure. If this number in my bank account doesn't change, I cannot feel at peace. Manifestation grows from the soil of self-worth. Dependency grows from the soil of self-abandonment. One expands you, the other shrinks you. How can you tell which one you are practicing? When you are emotionally dependent, you live in constant tension. You obsess over outcomes. You check and recheck. You make the result your God. You blame yourself for every delay. You question your value with every silence. You lose your peace the moment something looks uncertain. When you are manifesting in a healthy way, you actually feel more peaceful, not less. You become more present, not more frantic. You treat yourself more kindly, not more harshly. You still care, you still show up, but your nervous system is not living in a permanent state of, if this doesn't happen, I don't deserve to be okay. You are not here to be rescued by outcomes. You are here to remember that your wholeness was never for sale. So tonight, I want to invite you to shift the ground you are standing on. Instead of manifesting from a place of, I am empty, I am lacking, I am broken until this arrives, you begin to manifest from a place of, I am already enough, I am already loved, I am already connected to life, and from this wholeness I welcome more. That doesn't mean you never feel sad, never feel afraid, never feel disappointed. It means you no longer hand your entire sense of self over to things you can't control. Put your hand on your heart again, my dear, and breathe with me. Into that tender place where you have made outcomes your savior, we are going to pour a new truth. Gently say with me, I release the need to be rescued by outcomes. Take a breath, again, a little deeper, letting the words sink into the places that have been so tired of proving themselves. I release the need to be rescued by outcomes. One more time as a declaration of a new way of living. I release the need to be rescued by outcomes. You don't have to know exactly how to live this yet. Practice will teach you. For now, you have drawn a beautiful new line in the sand. When you stop asking outcomes to save you, you finally give your own soul permission to lead you. And from that place of trust, of self-worth, of presence, the things that are truly meant for you no longer have to be chased. They can finally find you. So where do we begin? We begin in the only place where real change is ever possible, my dear. Right here, right now, in this very moment with you and your beautiful, honest heart. I'm not going to ask you to throw your whole life in the air or to suddenly become good at letting go. You don't have to get it perfect. You only need to be willing. So let's start with the first gentle stage of detachment, which is simply seeing where you are holding on too tightly. You cannot loosen a grip you refuse to see. So we begin by looking with kindness, not with blame. Ask yourself softly, almost like you are whispering a secret to a dear friend. Where am I holding on so hard that it's hurting me? Maybe you notice it is a person you're afraid to lose, and your mind keeps saying, if they leave, I won't be okay. Maybe it is a result, a certain number in the bank, a specific weight on the scale, a particular outcome you've decided is the only proof that you are good enough. Perhaps you're clinging to a timeline. By this age, I should already be there. By this year, it should have happened. It should. Or it could be an image of yourself that you're terrified to drop. The strong one, the good girl, the one who never needs help. Just noticing this is already a powerful step. You can't loosen a grip you pretend you don't have, but you can begin to heal the moment you're willing to see it. Now bring your attention from the story in your mind down into your body. Where does this clinging live? Is there a tightness across your chest, a knot in your stomach, a heaviness in your throat? Maybe your jaw is clenched or your hands are curled without you realizing it. You don't have to call it pain if that feels too strong. You might say, there is a lot of sensation in my chest, or there is a stiffness in my belly that is asking for love. This is not your body betraying you. This is your body speaking to you. Stress is just fear that hasn't been given a voice yet. Rejection is often a mirror of the ways you have rejected yourself. What you are feeling is not a flaw. It is a message. Are you willing, even just a little, to listen to it without running away? Now we move into the second stage, and this is where so many people stumble, because they have been taught to fight their feelings instead of caring for them. This stage is called acceptance, and it sounds so simple. Yet it is one of the bravest things you will ever do. Acceptance does not mean you like what is happening, and it does not mean you are doomed to stay this way forever. It simply means you are willing to tell yourself the truth without adding punishment. You might notice, yes, I am scared right now, or yes, I feel very jealous, or yes, I am angry that things haven't gone the way I hoped. And instead of attacking yourself for that, you practice saying the magic words I love to use. It's okay. It's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel tired of being the strong one who never falls apart. You are not weak for feeling. You are human. You see, when you push your feelings down, they don't disappear. They simply go underground and come out in other ways, through the body, through anxiety, through those late night thoughts that won't leave you alone. But when you sit with them and say, yes, I see you, and I'm not going to abandon you, something begins to soften. You don't heal by shaming your feelings. You heal by sitting with them like a loving mother sits with a crying child. I remember a woman who came to me many years ago, full of rage at herself, because she still cared about someone she felt she should be over. She kept saying, "I know I shouldn't feel this way. I should be stronger by now." And every should was like a little whip she used on her own heart. We didn't start by ripping the person out of her mind. We started by turning toward the part of her that felt so ashamed. We breathed together and said, "It's okay that you still care. It's okay that you still hope. It's okay that you still hurt." And the moment she stopped fighting her own heart, the energy began to move. Even just a small shift in your thoughts creates movement. Are you willing, my dear, to let your feelings be here without deciding they make you wrong? Are you willing to say, "It's only a feeling, and feelings can be held, and feelings can change"? You are not behind. You are not broken. You are right on time. Once we have seen our grip and allowed our feelings to exist without attack, we are ready for the third stage, returning control to life itself. This is where we move from fear into love, from resistance into softness. This is where we admit, gently but honestly, that we were never meant to manage every detail of this universe on our own. You do have power, great creative power, in the thoughts you choose, the beliefs you nurture, the actions you take. But you do not control every outcome, every person, every timing, and trying to do so only fills your body with fear and your days with exhaustion. So in this stage, we begin saying something very important. I do my part, and I allow life to do its part. You might affirm, I will show up for what matters to me. I will answer the phone, send the email, take the class, open my heart, and then I will stop trying to micromanage the how and the when. The point of power is in the present moment, not in the imaginary future where you are constantly chasing peace. Life knows 1,000 paths to bring you what truly belongs to you. Paths you could never plan, conversations you could never script, chances you could never force. When you insist that it must come from this person, in this way, at this time, you are not manifesting. You are restricting. You are saying, I don't trust anything beyond my own control, and that is such a heavy burden to carry. Detachment is choosing partnership with life instead of trying to be life's boss. Many years ago, I felt the same way you do now. I thought if I didn't keep a tight grip on everything, it would all fall apart. But the harder I clung, the more my body hurt, the more my world shrank. The day I truly understood that I could release the how and the when, that I could let life bring the right people, the right ideas, the right timing, something opened up inside of me that I can only describe as relief. It felt like putting down a suitcase I had been carrying for decades. I still showed up. I still cared deeply. But I stopped using my desire as a weapon against myself. Are you willing, even just a little, to put down that heavy suitcase now? Are you willing to say, I don't have to know every detail. I will do my part today, and I will let life be clever on my behalf. Trust does not mean doing nothing. Trust means doing your part from love instead of fear. Now we arrive at the fourth stage, the one that many people skip, but that you, my dear, are ready to enter. Opening your hands to receive. Letting go is not just about what you release. It is also about the space you make for what can now arrive. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of the ocean, with your hands clenched tight around a handful of wet sand. You squeeze and squeeze because you're terrified of losing it. And the tighter you clench, the more the sand pushes out between your fingers, falling back to the shore. Your stress is just like that. Your fear is just like that. Your attempts to control are just like that. Now imagine softening your fingers, letting your hands relax and open. Some grains may fall, yes, but notice what remains in your palm. Notice how much lighter your whole arm feels, how much easier it is to move. Or think of water. Try to trap it in a rigid, clenched fist and it disappears. Hold your hands gently cupped and you can carry it with you. The more you try to squeeze life into your plan, the more it slips away. The more you open, the more it can stay. Receiving mode is not a passive state where you lie on the couch and hope everything changes. Receiving mode is a way of being in which you walk through your day as someone who is already supported, already guided, already loved. You move a little slower. You breathe a little deeper. You speak to yourself a little more kindly. You start noticing the small signs. A conversation that encourages you. A delay that protects you. An unexpected idea that lights you up. You stop calling everything coincidence and start calling it evidence that life is on your side. Instead of asking, "Why isn't it here yet?" you begin to ask, "How is life already supporting me today?" Instead of living in, "Nothing ever works out for me," you begin to whisper, "Things are quietly working out, even if I can't see the full picture yet." You stop seeing yourself as a beggar at the door of the universe and start remembering you are a beloved child in a loving home. You don't have to chase what is meant for you. You learn to stand still and let it recognize you. Let's anchor this fourth stage with a gentle practice together. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes for a moment and let your hands rest on your lap with your palms facing upward, as if you are quietly saying, "I am available." Feel the weight of your hands, the softness in your fingers, the openness in your posture. This is the physical shape of receiving. Now bring to mind one area of your life where you have been grasping: the relationship, the decision, the outcome, the image of yourself you're afraid to lose. See yourself slowly loosening your mental grip, not throwing it away, just holding it with more kindness, more space, more trust. Picture life, whatever that word means to you. God, the universe, love itself, gently placing a hand over yours and saying, "You don't have to do this all alone." Into this image we will now pour a new affirmation. Say it with me, softly at first. I let go and I receive with ease. Take a breath and feel how that sounds in your body. Once more, with a little more belief, even if it is only one more drop. I let go and I receive with ease. And one more time, as a promise to your own soul, I let go and I receive with ease. You don't have to know how it will all unfold from here. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed, and you have just chosen a new thought. Every time you repeat it, you are watering the seed we planted tonight. Every time you soften your jaw, every time you unclench your hands, every time you pause and say, "It's okay, I don't have to control this," you are moving from fear into love, from tightness into trust, from chasing into receiving. Every small act of letting go is a big act of loving yourself. My dear, you are doing better than you think you are. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are right on time. And as you walk forward from this moment, remember, you do your part, and you allow life to do its part. You are safe now. You are held now. And as you let go, you will see that what is truly meant for you was always finding its way to you. Have you ever noticed, my dear, that no matter who has come and gone in your life, there has always been one person who never left you, not even for a single moment? You. Think about that for just a moment. Every memory you have, you are there. Every joy, every heartbreak, every beginning, every ending, you are the constant presence. People have promised to stay and then walked away. Jobs have changed, children have grown, relationships have shifted. But you have never been able to walk out on yourself. And yet, for so many years, you may have been abandoning yourself on the inside, criticizing yourself, doubting yourself, putting yourself last, trying so hard to please others that you left your own heart standing alone. Oh, sweetheart, you have done that for such a long time, and it has not brought you the peace you long for. You are the one relationship you can never walk away from, so it is time to make that relationship the safest one you have. The point of power is in the present moment, and in this moment you can decide, I will no longer be the one who betrays me. I will be the one who stands by me. Isn't that a beautiful idea? That for the rest of your life you can become your own steady companion instead of your harshest critic. So let me ask you gently, how often have you left yourself just to avoid being left by someone else? How many times have you said yes when your whole body was whispering no, just to keep the peace or to keep someone close? How many nights have you stayed on the phone too long, listened to stories that drained you, agreed to things you didn't want, all because you were terrified that if you didn't, they would disappear and you would be alone? You may have changed your clothes, your hair, your opinions, even your values to be accepted by people who were never meant to be the judges of your worth. And every time you did that, there was a little girl inside of you saying, but what about me? Who is on my side? My dear, you cannot abandon yourself and expect the world to treat you with deep respect. Life mirrors what you believe you deserve. When you treat yourself as an afterthought, the world reflects that back. When you begin to treat yourself as precious, the world slowly learns to do the same. When you stop abandoning yourself, life stops sending people who abandon you. You don't have to get this perfect overnight. You only need to be willing to turn towards yourself and say, I am on my own side now. Then, now, let's talk about this fear of being alone, because it is one of the deepest fears so many women carry, and it keeps them clinging to situations and people that are not good for their hearts. Many people confuse being alone with being lonely, but they are not the same thing at all. Loneliness is not an empty house. Loneliness is an empty relationship with yourself. You can be surrounded by people and feel desperately lonely if you are abandoning your own heart. And you can sit in a quiet room with a cup of tea, listening to the rain, and feel deeply accompanied if you are present with yourself in love. Being with yourself is not a punishment. It is your greatest source of power. When you are comfortable in your own company, you are no longer willing to bargain your soul away for a bit of attention. When you enjoy your own thoughts, your own presence, your own quiet rituals, you no longer need someone else to fill every silence. We are moving from fear into love here, from the fear that says, if I am alone, I am nothing, to the love that says, when I am with myself, I am with someone precious. What if being on your own was not a sentence, but a sanctuary? What if you treated your alone time as a sacred appointment with your own soul instead of something to be escaped? Are you willing, even just a little, to see solitude as soft strength rather than proof that something is wrong with you? Let's do a tiny practice together, just 30 seconds, to show your nervous system that you are no longer leaving yourself behind. If it feels safe, place one hand on your heart, right there in the middle of your chest. and let your shoulders drop just a little. Feel the warmth of your hand against your body. That is you touching you, you comforting you. Now softly, almost like you are speaking to a child, say inside or out loud, I am here. Not somewhere else, not with someone else, not in yesterday, not in tomorrow. I am here. You don't have to fix anything in this moment. The point of power is simply acknowledging your own presence. Now take a gentle breath in and silently say, loved. And as you breathe out, silently say, safe. Inhale, loved. Exhale, safe. Once more, inhale, loved. Exhale, safe. You are teaching your body a new association. When you turn toward yourself, you are not meeting criticism, you are meeting safety. It's only a breath, and a breath can be changed. And every time you do this, you change the atmosphere inside of you. You are learning to be the person who shows up for you, first and always. How does that feel, my dear, to know that you can create this feeling in just a few breaths? I remember a woman who came to me many years ago who said, Louise, I am terrified of being alone. I stay in relationships that hurt me. I accept crumbs of love. I say yes to everyone because I am so scared that if I don't, I will end up by myself. She thought her problem was other people, but really her pain was that she had never learned how to stay with herself. She left herself every time someone frowned at her, every time someone didn't approve, every time she felt a wave of fear. We did not start by forcing her to leave anyone. We started by teaching her not to leave herself. We practiced little sentences like, I am here for you. You are safe with me. You can feel this and still be loved. So we reframed her fear. Instead of saying, I am desperate and alone, we began saying, there is a frightened part of me that needs more of my own love. That's just an old thought, and old thoughts can be changed. Slowly, as she began to stand by herself on the inside, her decisions on the outside changed too. She tolerated less disrespect. She took more quiet time. She listened to her own needs. And do you know what happened? The people who only stayed because she abandoned herself for them drifted away. And the people who respected her soul found their way in. The day she stopped begging others not to leave her was the day she stopped leaving herself. Isn't that wonderful? So I want to invite you into a new kind of loyalty, the kind you may have given to everyone else but forgotten to give to the woman in the mirror. You may have stood by family through their storms, supported partners through their struggles, been there for friends at 2 a.m. But how often have you done that for you? How often have you asked yourself, how are you supporting yourself today? Or are you being kind to your thoughts right now? Loving yourself does not mean ignoring your faults. It means holding your humanity with compassion while you grow. You don't have to be perfect to deserve your own loyalty. You only have to be willing to stop attacking yourself. You are the creative power in your life, and your thoughts are the seeds you plant in the garden of your mind. If you water yourself with constant criticism, you grow insecurity. If you water yourself with patience, praise, and understanding, you grow confidence. Every time you choose a gentler thought about yourself, you are casting a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. Every time you say, I shouldn't be feeling this, you abandon yourself just a little. Every time you say, it's okay, darling, we'll get through this together, you come home to yourself. We are moving from self-rejection into self-acceptance, from self-abandonment into self-support. And remember, every small shift, just a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, creates movement. Now let's seal this with some powerful affirmations, because you know how much I love to use them as tools to retrain the mind. Remember, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed, and you are learning to think thoughts that love you. I want you to say this with me, slowly, as if you are making a promise you intend to keep. I am the one who stays with me. Feel that in your body. Again, with a little more ownership. I am the one who stays with me. One more time, as a declaration of a new way of living. I am the one who stays with me. Now another. I choose to be on my own side. Say it with me. I choose to be on my own side. And now the classic one. I love and approve of myself. Say it gently, even if it feels strange. I love and approve of myself. And again, I love and approve of myself. And one more time, for the little girl inside you who has waited so long to hear it. I love and approve of myself. The more you love yourself, the less you will settle for being treated as anything less than precious. You are learning that you are not here to earn your own love by suffering. You are here to extend that love inward first, and then let it spill over into every area of your life. My dear, you are the only person who will be with you from your first breath to your last, and that makes your relationship with yourself the most important one you will ever have. You don't have to fix your whole life tonight. You don't have to know exactly what to do next week or next year. You only need to be willing in this moment to stop walking away from yourself and to start walking toward yourself instead. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are right on time for your own love. Every time you place your hand on your heart and say, I am here, you are rewriting an old story of abandonment into a new story of presence. Every time you breathe in, loved, and breathe out, safe, you are telling your nervous system, we are not at war with ourselves anymore. Every time you choose a kind thought instead of a cruel one, you are laying another brick in the foundation of a life built on self-respect. You are learning that being with yourself is not loneliness. It is intimacy with your own soul. You are learning that your soft power grows in the quiet moments when you stand by yourself, especially when no one else understands. And as you stand beside yourself in this new way, the world will slowly, gently begin to mirror that back to you. You are the love you have been waiting for. I want to share an image with you that I absolutely love, because it makes this whole idea of self-worth and detachment so simple, so clear, and even a little bit fun. Imagine for a moment that you are a beautiful cake, a complete, well-baked, fragrant cake sitting there on the table. All the structure, all the flavor, all the substance is already in the cake itself. That is you. Your kindness, your intelligence, your experience, your laughter, your resilience, your capacity to love. Those are the ingredients that make you who you are. Now think of other people, or the things you desire in life, relationships, opportunities, successes, as the frosting, the decoration. Frosting can be delightful. It can make the cake look festive. It can add sweetness and color, but it does not create the cake, and it does not decide whether the cake is worth anything. You are the cake. Everything else is decoration. If someone scrapes off the frosting or it melts a little on the way home, the cake is still a cake. It doesn't suddenly become nothing. It doesn't lose its structure. It doesn't stop being food. In the same way, when a relationship shifts, when a job changes, when a dream takes longer than you hoped, it may change the decoration of your life, but it does not erase your wholeness. The problem is that many of us have been taught to live as if we are just a plain plate, waiting for someone else to come and build a cake on top of us. We beg for crumbs of affection, crumbs of validation, crumbs of attention, because we secretly believe there is no substance inside. My dear, that has never been true. You were a whole cake the day you were born, and no one can bake or unbake your worth. Now let's make this very personal, very practical. I want to ask you a gentle, powerful question, and I'd like you to really feel into it. If you already felt whole today, what would you stop begging for? Would you stop begging for text messages that never really satisfy you? Would you stop begging for tiny compliments from people who don't even see your real heart? Would you stop begging for someone to tell you that you are enough before you allow yourself to rest or to feel proud? When you believe you are just crumbs, you will chase anything that looks like icing. When you know you are the cake, you can enjoy the icing without selling your soul for it. When you know you are complete, you no longer negotiate your value in exchange for attention. Think of how you move through a bakery when you're not starving. You browse, you appreciate, you choose what feels good, but you don't fall to your knees and plead with the baker, "Please, please give me something or I will die." Emotional starvation makes us beg. Inner fullness allows us to choose. Are you willing to entertain the idea that you are already a complete recipe, even if some parts of your life are still in the oven? Are you willing to stop saying, "When I get the frosting, then I'll like myself," and start saying, "Because I like myself, I will only welcome frosting that respects the cake"? The more you live as if you are whole, the more life responds to you as someone who is whole. Let's anchor this wholeness in your body and your mind with affirmation, because you know I adore affirmations when they are used consciously, not to control others, but to remind you who you really are. Take a comfortable breath with me. Feel your feet on the floor, your hips in the chair, the weight of your body supported. You don't have to hold yourself up alone. The earth is holding you. Now gently, say with me, "I am whole. I am complete. I am enough." Notice any resistance, any voice that says, "No, I'm not." And just say to that voice, "Thank you for sharing." That's an old thought, and old thoughts can be changed. Again, with a little more willingness, even if it still feels new. I am whole. I am complete. I am enough. Let those words move through your chest, through your belly, through your shoulders. This is not arrogance, this is truth. Arrogance says, "I am better than you." Wholeness says, "I am not less than anyone." One more time, as a blessing over your own life. I am whole. I am complete. I am enough. When you live as a whole cake, you attract people who know how to celebrate you, not people who only come around to steal a slice. You are not waiting to be assembled, you are learning to be appreciated. Now that you are beginning to remember your own completeness, I want to widen the lens and look at how life itself works, because understanding this will help you trust enough to detach. Detachment is not indifference. It is confidence in the goodness of life. When you let go of your grip on the frosting, you're not saying, "I don't care if I ever have anything sweet again." You're saying, "I trust that the best, most nourishing version of what I desire can and will find its way to me at the right time." Detachment is proof of your faith that the best outcome will come. When you hold something with desperate fingers, it is usually because you secretly believe that life is against you, that good things are scarce, that if you don't force it now, it will never happen. But my dear, life loves you. Say that with me in your heart for a moment. Life loves me. It may feel strange at first, especially if you have gone through a great deal of pain. But remember, pain is not proof that the universe hates you. Pain is often part of the growing process we don't yet understand. Just as muscle fibers tear a little to become stronger, just as the seed must crack open to become a plant, there are seasons in our lives that feel like breaking, but are actually openings. Even when you don't get the thing you were so sure you wanted, something in the fabric of your life is still quietly being woven in your favor. Detachment says, if this isn't it, something better aligned with my wholeness is already on its way. Think for a moment about how nature moves. The tides do not rush because we are impatient. The moon does not change its phases because we stomp our feet. The seasons do not skip winter because we're tired of the cold. There is a deep intelligence running this whole show, a rhythm, a wisdom, a timing that is far older and wiser than your worry. When we try to pull on that rhythm, we only wear ourselves out. Imagine standing near a flower bud and yelling at it, "Open faster, bloom now. If you don't bloom by Tuesday, I'll never be happy again." You might laugh at that, but that is exactly how we speak to our own lives. We tug on the petals with our anxiety. Why hasn't this person committed yet? Why hasn't this job come yet? Why isn't my healing done yet? And just like with a real flower, the more you pull on the petals, the more you damage them. Pulling on the petals does not make the flower bloom faster. It only tears what was meant to open naturally. Are you willing to stop pulling on your own petals? Are you willing to let your life bloom in its own wise season? The universe is not ignoring you. Much of what you've asked for is simply still in the unseen, like a baby growing in the womb, like roots spreading in the dark soil before a tree appears. Slowness is not punishment, it is preparation. So what does trust look like practically for you in this moment? It looks like releasing your obsession with timing and leaning into presence. It looks like saying, I will do what I can today and I will not torture myself about tomorrow. It looks like thanking life for the signs of support you already have, even while you are waiting for bigger things to unfold. It looks like choosing thoughts that say, something is working in my favor, rather than everything is against me. Trust is not pretending everything feels good. Trust is knowing that even what doesn't feel good can still serve your highest good. You might begin your day with a quiet statement. I am a whole cake, and life is bringing me the right decorations at the right time. You might catch yourself when you start mentally tugging on the petals and say, I see, I am pulling again. Let me soften, let me breathe, let me remember that life loves me. You don't have to do this perfectly. You only have to be willing to practice just a little bit more kindness in your thoughts, a little bit more patience with your timing, a little bit more faith in the unseen. Over time, that little bit more turns into a whole new way of living. And as we close this part, I want you to feel the combination of these truths in your heart. You are already whole, and you are held by a loving universe. You are the cake, and life is the wise baker who knows exactly when to bring the frosting, how much, and in what flavor. You don't need to sit in the oven door, opening and closing it, ruining the temperature with your worry. You can rest, you can rise, you can trust the process that is bigger than you, yet always working for you. When you know you are complete and you trust that life loves you, detachment becomes an act of joy, not a struggle. So, my dear, as you breathe in this moment, can you feel, even a tiny bit, that something kind is happening in your favor? Can you believe, just for today, that you are whole, that you are complete, that you are enough, and that the universe is not late with your blessings? You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Life loves you, and as you let go, life finally has room to show you just how much. So now that we've talked about your wholeness and the wisdom of life's timing, let's gently look at something that challenges almost everyone: waiting. There are seasons in your life that feel like nothing is happening, like everything is paused, like the universe has put you on hold. And those can be some of the most uncomfortable times, can't they, my dear? We call it delay, and our minds immediately translate that into denial or rejection, as if life is saying no to us, but very often that isn't what's happening at all. Think of a pregnancy. For many months, you cannot see the baby clearly from the outside. You don't know exactly what day it will arrive, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. In fact, the most vital, delicate work is being done in the dark, quietly, steadily, perfectly timed. The same is true when a seed rests in the soil. The darkness is not a cemetery, it's a womb. A delay is not always life saying no. Sometimes it is life saying not yet. I'm still preparing something beautiful. When you are rushing and pushing, you live in doubt. When you trust that some things must grow unseen before they appear, you can finally breathe again. Instead of interrogating life, why not now? Why not me? Why so slow? You can begin to care for your own energy, your sleep, your thoughts, your body, your environment. You cannot force fruit to appear on a tree by yelling at it, but you can water it. You can give it sunshine. You can protect its roots. You don't have to interrogate life. You can nourish yourself while life finishes the work you cannot see. As a tiny practice, if you are in a waiting season right now, I invite you to take a piece of paper and write one simple sentence. Maybe this is growing in the dark. Let that be your new thought when your old thought says, nothing is happening. Remember, my dear, it's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Now, all of this brings us back to one of my favorite truths, one I've said for many years. The point of power is in the present moment. Your mind may want to run ahead into next week or next year, trying to grab the outcome and drag it closer, but your body only ever lives here, in this breath, in this room, on this day. When you are constantly living in the future, rehearsing what might go wrong, obsessing over what might happen, you miss the very things that are carrying you, supporting you right now. You miss the friend who texted to check on you. You miss the way your coffee smelled this morning. You miss the strength it took just to get out of bed, which is a miracle in itself. The now is where you meet life, not tomorrow's version of you, not yesterday's story, but this you, this heartbeat, this small next step. So I want to ask you, instead of trying to control the entire path, what is one kind thing you can do in this moment? One phone call you can make, one email you can send, one short walk you can take, one nourishing meal you can give your body. You don't have to solve your whole life before lunchtime. You just need to do the next loving thing available to you now. Every time your mind runs ahead to the outcome, you can gently say, "Come back, sweetheart. Let's be here. Let's do what is in front of us." Worry lives in the future. Healing happens in the present. And of course, you know I cannot talk about detachment and trust without talking about gratitude, because gratitude is one of the strongest magnets for good that we have. Gratitude doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means acknowledging that even in the middle of what hurts, something is still supporting you. Gratitude doesn't deny your pain. It widens your world. When you shift from "I have nothing" to "there are a few things holding me today," your energy moves from lack into enoughness. You can start with the simplest level, your body. the breath moving in and out, your heart beating without you having to manage it, your legs carrying you, your eyes seeing this sentence. Then you move to people, the one friend who truly understands you, the neighbor who smiles, the stranger who held the door, the loved one who believes in you even when you forget. And then to opportunities, the lessons you are learning from this waiting, the inner strength you are developing, the clarity that's being born through contrast. I also love what I call gratitude in advance, which is thanking life as if the support you need is already on the way. Thank you for guiding me to the right opportunity, even if I can't see it yet. Thank you for the love that is finding its way to me. Thanking life in advance opens doors you can't yet see. For a simple 2-minute practice, take a moment tonight or tomorrow morning and write down 5 things you already have. Tiny things are wonderful. Clean water, a soft pillow, a song you love, a lesson you've learned, a person who once showed you kindness. Let your mind see on paper that your life is not empty. The more you notice what's here, the more life can send you to what's next. Because I want this to be more than just a beautiful idea, let's put together a little daily detachment practice for you, something simple that fits into real life. In the morning, before you pick up your phone, before you rush into everyone else's world, take 1 quiet minute and set an intention. Today I choose peace, or today I act from self-worth, or today I let things come to me. Then say to yourself, I set my intention, I do my part, and then I release the rest. That is detachment in action. At midday, when the busyness and the noise have built up, give yourself 30 seconds to close your eyes, feel your feet on the floor, and whisper, I return to now. Feel your breath enter and leave your body, and remember that you are more than your to-do list. At night, before you fall asleep, instead of rehearsing what went wrong, place your hand on your heart and softly say, I did my part today. Life, I trust you with what I cannot control. Detachment does not mean collapsing on the couch and refusing to move. It does not mean you stop caring or stop participating. Detachment is not doing nothing. It is doing what you can without making your worth depend on the result. You still show up, you still make the call, you still apply, you still love, but you no longer strangle the outcome. You live, you act, you release. As we come to the end of this journey together in this moment, I want to bless you the way I would if you were sitting right in front of me, eyes a little tired, heart a little hopeful. You have walked with me through the idea of letting go, of remembering your value, of trusting the invisible timing of life, of creating gentle practices that support your nervous system. Now we will weave all of that into a few simple lines you can carry with you, like little lanterns in your pocket. Take a soft breath, my dear, and let these words be for you. Say with me slowly, life supports me. Again, feeling the possibility of that. Life supports me. One more time, as a new belief growing roots. Life supports me. Now we'll affirm the safety of timing. What is meant for me cannot miss me. Let it land. What is meant for me cannot miss me. And once more, for the part of you that is so afraid of missing your chance. What is meant for me cannot miss me. Finally, we will open our hands together. I let go and I receive. Gently, not forcing. I let go and I receive. And one last time, as a promise you make to your own soul, I let go and I receive. You don't have to chase what is already on its way. You only have to be willing to meet it with open hands. As you move into the rest of your day or drift towards sleep, remember this: you are learning, You are growing. You are supported in ways seen and unseen. You are not alone in this universe. Life loves you, and you are safe.